Good evening. My name is Edward Sanshin Oberholtzer. I'm the resident priest and guiding teacher here at the Joseph Priestley Zen Sangha in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. We're an affiliate of Empty Moon Zen. When, at the end of a dedication, we all join our voices to chant, all Buddhas throughout space and time, you can close your eyes and see the endless expanse of worlds, stars, and galaxies, stretching back countless ages and reaching forward who knows where. Buddhism seems comfortable with vastness, with eternity. Not for Buddhists is that single moment not so long ago, no, not the beginning of the evening of October 23rd, 4,004 years before the Common Era, the date calculated by the Archbishop of Arang, James Usser, as the exact time of the creation of the world. Nope. Buddhists deal in kalpas, a period of time that by some accounts can be measured as the amount of time it takes a bird running a silken scarf over the surface of a cubic mile of iron once a month, or perhaps once a year, to wear that block down to the ground. Some say that when the block has been worn down, a kalpa has not even yet begun. Such vastness. Time spans that put modern physics to shame. Now, we begin our liturgy service with the Gatha of Atonement. Some call it the repentance verse. The standard observances of the Soto school call it simply purification. I like atonement. Once at Zen Mountain Monastery, I heard Daido Lori Roshi tell us that to atone meant to be at one. I remember thinking that that was a cute folk etymology. I have since, with the help of Merriam-Webster's third, atoned and am now at one with my condescension, because it does, in fact, mean to be at one. Here is that Gatha. All my ancient twisted karma from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion, born through body, speech, and mind, I now fully avow. My old friend in the Dharma, Josh Bartok, used to say that liturgy should be provocative. And so I ask, what evil karma? And what does karma even mean? And here we return to vastness as a way to understand karma and atonement, to understand our past and future lives. Shunryo Suzuki Roshi once advocated for larger corrals to help control people. Give them room, and they will return to the good, he thought. Just so our life, which cannot be extracted from any other life, which is intimately bound up in all lives, past, present, and future, can only be understood within that continuum, within that ever-widening corral. The philosopher Samuel Schaeffer asked an interesting question. Would you lead your life any differently if you knew that 15 minutes after your death, all human life would end? As Schaeffer points out, this is a variant on the idea behind P.D. James's book, Children of Men. If a life were to end, would a city planner continue to plan cities? Would a cancer researcher continue to pursue cures for cancer? Schaeffer asks us to consider how embedded we are in the life around us. Our meaning comes from knowing that life goes on. In that sense, there is an afterlife. It's not simply a question of concern for our children or our grandchildren, should we have any, but for the young family down the street, for the villager in Bangladesh facing a cyclone, for the generations yet to come. This is the arc of our karma. Just as it projects into the distant future, it emerges from our distant and ancient past. from all those decisions that our predecessors have made leading up to this moment in time, through to all those consequences of our acts that we cannot foresee. We are not simply individuals, isolated hermits, existing in this one moment of time. We're part of a vast continuum, this sum of innumerable actions, the cause of innumerable actions. And these actions, good and bad, however one might define good or bad, strands that are so difficult to tease apart. All my ancient twisted karma. How do we know good or bad? Many of us have heard that old story of the farmer who, one day, captured a spirited, beautiful stallion. The villagers gathered around and congratulated him on his good fortune. Maybe yes, maybe no, was all he replied. The next day, his son, in trying to break the stallion to the saddle, fell and broke his leg. How unfortunate! What bad luck! The villagers said. Maybe yes, maybe no, was his reply. And the day after that, a general came to the village to conscript young men for a distant war. Seeing the son's broken leg, he was passed by. Again, the villagers congratulated the farmer on his good luck. Maybe yes, maybe no. And you can spin this out to eternity. There is no way to know the consequences of our actions, just as a stone dropped in a pond sends out ripples that touch upon shores we might not see. So the simple act of smiling at a stranger on a city sidewalk can have unforeseen consequences, brightening a day, softening his response to a cause for anger. And just as our karma is intertwined with time, so it reflects our interconnection with all humanity. Of all creation, we are a part of the whole, as John Donne wrote. If a clod of earth is washed away, Europe is the less for it. No man is an island. David Loy has called upon us to build upon the Mahayana notion of saving all beings as opposed to the earlier insistence upon individual salvation, and has said that perhaps it's time to think in terms of group, of collective karma. After all, there is no separation one from another. We are not one, not two, both with our neighbors and with our acts. Our acts touch upon each of us without limit, throughout space and time. Throughout the kalpas, the vastness of time, throughout the myriad worlds, the worlds that open to us each morning anew. And so we're called upon, and we call upon ourselves to embrace all that we have done, all that we have caused. We are called upon to be at one with our acts, good, bad, and indifferent. And for these, we now fully avow. Thank you.